everybody, and good evening. This is number Zoom series number 125. It's unbelievable. And today we're going to watch and listen to dear Professor Dr. Aydan Ersöz. Let me talk about her just to remember so she retired from Gazi University in 2006 after having worked for 24 years. She was president of INGED board for about 18 years. The new board honored her by naming her the honorary president. She is currently working at Ankara Bilim University. Her interest areas are teaching English to young learners, evaluating, adapting, and developing teaching materials, and teacher training. And she's going to talk about teaching grammar in context. Finally! So the screen is yours, Hocam. Here you go.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. It's so nice to be with you again. And this time I'm not the moderator, I am the presenter. And those who know me, you all know that I will talk about teaching grammar in context till the last breath in my life because I'm so tired of people trying to teach grammar in the old manner, the traditional manner, explaining it on the board as if they were explaining a mathematical formula or a physics equation. I hate that. Language is a very, very complex entity. I'm going to say entity because it's a living entity. Of course, it's rule governed. Of course, there are rules, but language can never be limited to rules and be taught by just explaining the rules of it. I will ask you to reflect on your own experiences every now and then during the presentation. But I'm going to begin with a quotation from two researchers, Hillocks and Smith. Research, I'm going to read it. Research over a period of nearly 90 years has consistently shown that the teaching of school grammar has little or no effect on students. It goes on. Relatively few students learn grammar well, fewer retain it, and still fewer transfer the grammar they have learned to improve their life. Now, please pay attention. This research has been carried out for native speakers of English. If these statements, these findings are valid for native speakers, can you imagine the torture that foreign learners go through when they're exposed to formal grammar? Now, when we talk about native speakers, we're talking about people who have already acquired their language in natural settings. So when they go to formal schools, their language is destroyed by completely nonsense explanations. This happened to us as well. Please recall. I was a very happy Turkish-speaking, fluent child before I went to school. But when I started school, when they started teaching me Turkish grammar, I suddenly realized that this is not the language I speak. This is something different. It's amazingly hard. What makes it hard? I want you just to think about this for a while. When we give rules, we have all the good intentions. We want our students to pick up the rules very easily and quickly, them in their pockets, and choose the right one whenever they need it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Yes, we teach the rules, but they stay in their pockets. Students do not pick them up when they need to use the language. Okay. Here is a cartoon mocking the idea of teaching traditional grammar. I'm going to let you enjoy it. I have a personal anecdote related to this passive voice. When my elder daughter was taking English classes, her teacher assigned one full page of active sentences to be changed into passive. The sentences were all isolated, and some of them were so stupid. I'm so sorry. Like, someone is eating a hamburger. Now, when you change it into passive, a hamburger is being eaten sounds so bizarre, very much like a science fiction movie or maybe a horror movie. The hamburger is being eaten, you know? Invisible forces are eating a hamburger kind of thing. What the teacher missed there is the fact that just because a sentence is changeable into passive doesn't mean that it has to be changed into passive voice. Passive voice has a meaning, a function, and its function and meaning is not the joy of English teachers. You know, people just give these assignments without questioning how meaningful they are or how meaningless they are, maybe I should say. Okay. Now, I have a list. The first three comes from Wilkins, David Wilkins, but the others belong to me. And I'm proudly honing my sentences here. Now, why can't we teach grammar? Or why shouldn't we teach grammar in isolation? Now, one, it's very complex, very complex. It's something arbitrary. There's nothing natural about language. There's too much of it. Oh, too many exceptional situations, you know? It's not the way people learn. Okay? Rules, rules, rules. No, I don't learn that way. Okay? It's too abstract. My God, it's not solid. It's not concrete. I cannot touch it. I cannot show it. Yes, you may show a visual trying to teach a grammar point. The visual only creates the context, not the grammar form. Okay? There are too many irregularities and suppletive forms because, you know, throughout the historical, chronological life of a language, it has been exposed to so many factors, it changes. So sometimes you give a rule and then something comes up and your students say, Hocam, you said this doesn't happen like that. And you say, well, this is an exception. Okay. Too many of them. Grammar is meaningless without a context. it gets its meaning from the context. And we never use grammar for the sake of using grammar. We use grammar to express our message. So the reason why we use language is I want to do something with it. Okay? I have two visuals for you. If I shouldn't teach grammar in isolation, what is the answer then? Teach grammar in context. As you can see, grammar in isolation is alone and lonely because it has nothing to get meaning from, to serve an aim. It's just dangling in the air by itself. But grammar in context is embellished with context itself. So it gains its meaning. It serves its purpose. If I say, for example, I'm hungry, it may serve several different functions depending on the context that I use. Of course, the tone of the voice changes the meaning of the sentence. I may say it in a very angry manner. So if someone says, "Why are you shouting so much?" And I may say, "I am hungry." So what I'm doing is I'm giving a reason. This is why I'm shouting. I'm hungry. I want to get some food. And it happens to me, believe me. I love eating. If you're interested in learning why we should leave grammar translation method behind, please watch these videos. Okay. If you visit our YouTube channel, you will easily find them. In this session, I have a lesson plan that I have prepared using the inductive approach. And I also adopted a guided discovery technique. So when you are attending the lesson here, please pay attention to how I try to actively involve the students, how I guide them by asking several questions to elicit the answers from them rather than exposing the answer to them. Okay. So, very quick reminder of deductive and inductive approach. Very quick. I'm not going to deal with deductive. In inductive one, we have particular to general. That is to say, you do not come up with, say, simple past tense. No, that's too general. We're going to talk about one function only, talking about past events. Particular, right? Implicit, exposure to language first, because we need to create the context for the students to explore, okay, to find their own way. Of course, we are there to help them show the way, but they're going to find it by themselves. It's discovery technique, see? Rule discovery. But it's guided because free discovery can only be done by high level language learners, like maybe very advanced language learners. Uh, it's associative, subconscious. It's very close to acquisition, problem solving, learner centered. I step back. I leave the stage to the learners. It's autonomous. Students will feel that they can independently learn, get the meaning function of language by themselves. And it requires active participation of the students. Okay? Now, the sample lesson I'm going to use is designed for young adults. So I would say between the ages 18 up to 23, 24. Well, of course, you can use it with adults, but it will not be as exciting because adults are adults. They're very boring. So, whatever. The level is B1 or B1 plus. I would go for B1 plus. And allocated time, 2 class hours. If you have 45 minutes, 2 45 minutes, or 50 to 50 minutes. Why I'm dividing it like that is we don't want to rush. We don't want to push them too much. Okay? Because remember, uh, they will be discovering themselves by themselves. So they need time. If I push them too much, they will stop. So I'm going to ask you, remember, I asked you to do this. Look at these pictures. Are these people rich? How can you tell? Okay, I'm checking the chat box. So I'm expecting your answers. Yes, seems so. Okay. You're E1 plus students. Very good. There. Yes. Okay. Okay. Can you give me more specific answers? They all look rich. How can you tell? Luxurious house. Okay. Luxurious things. Like what? Thank you, İrem Hocam. Thank you very much. Like the car. Look at that car. Oh my God. Oh my God. Private jets. Tell me about it. Crazy. Yes. Private jet, private airplane. Very expensive. Luxury car. There are people serving them. Thank you, Gökçe Hocam. Where are they? Where are they? Definitely, they're on a yacht. Oh my God. I hate these people, don't you? Yeah, well, it may be a hotel or it may be their own. Their own. Uh-huh. Private swimming pool. Where do you have a private swimming pool? If you're not going to say house, I will force you to say it. So come on, guys. Okay. Well, of course, because you're using the chat box, it sounds so superficial. I'm sorry for that. Because in the classroom, when students are allowed to shout out their answers, one, they don't need to raise their hand. They just can say, expensive car. And when one hears that, the other one can, well, expensive house. See, it becomes more natural. So sorry, I cannot create that atmosphere here. Yes, we have a car, we have a yacht, we have a very, very luxurious villa with a swimming pool, and this guy with a private jet. Well, the guy itself is very, very handsome, though. No, some rich people are not. Yes. Okay. Now, how about these people? Are they rich? How can you tell? Yes, Gülbin hocam. Even the outfits are rich. You're right. Working class members, like what? Hocalarım, you're just being a headache now. People do not answer questions like that. Cleaning lady. Thank you, Shulojam. Thank you very much. Blue and white colors. Okay. See, oh my God. No, of course not. Well, we have an office cleaner, I believe. It's an office. We have say, well, excellent. Thank you. Thank you, my dear students. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Yes. Excellent. How much money do you think they make? Low income. Mm. Okay. Minimum wage. Thank you very much. Very much. As you can see, one of my students gave the answer in Turkish. I didn't repeat it, but I didn't say anything about it. But well, normally you're shouting these out. So, Defne hocam, being a nice student, I know you were being a naughty one, Ali hocam, I know, wrote minimum wage. So when I found the answer I was looking for, I jumped on it and I repeated it. Yes, that's right. Minimum wage. Minimum wage. Minimum wage, right? Okay, definitely. Yeah, okay. Well, waitresses at least get some tips, huh? In addition to the minimum wage. Okay. Do you think these people, this office cleaner, the waitress, the secretary, dream of becoming rich? Oh, too bad. Or are they happy? Well, I make minimum wage, but I'm really happy because I'm healthy. That nonsense, huh? They might be, yes, a good point, but they probably dream of better lives. Well, you may be happy with in your life, but who doesn't want more from life, right? Okay, how can they become rich easily and quickly? With minimum wage, they cannot just save. It's impossible. So, what are different ways of becoming rich easily and quickly? Lottery. Very good. Yes. Finding a rich spouse. Uh-huh. Well, Nihan hocam, come on, let's be real. Okay. Yes, we try to be happy with small things, but of course, bigger things will make us happier, right? Yes, get married to a rich person. You don't need to get married, Shulojam, but you can find a partner, rich partner, right? Minimum Tuba hocam. You're a hopeless case. Even your imagination has stopped, I believe. Okay, let me give you some ideas. The first two, what do you see? Remember, Defne Hocam mentioned this, finding a rich spouse. It can be a husband. The second one is, I think, proposing. But the first one, I don't know. If you're a young and beautiful girl, you can find a rich man if you're a young and handsome boy, well, man, I should say, you can find an old and rich lady. I don't know. That's a very quick way of making money. How about the other two pictures? Lottery, remember winning the lottery? Have you ever won anything from the lottery? Yeah, I'm not going to repeat that, Azra Hoca, because in the classroom setting, I wouldn't. That's not something nice. I don't want my students to learn that term. They may already know it. How about this one? Gambling. Yes. Well, personally, I don't believe anyone gets rich by gambling, but they think they can get rich by gambling. Yes, the casino. Where can you gamble? Where? I mean, country or city wise, of course, in a casino, but Cyprus. Işıl Hocam, now I know where you are at the weekends. Cyprus. Thank you. Haydi Hocam. Las Vegas. Dream big, guys. Dream big. Okay. Vegas is, of course, a very infamous city. There is another European country, a very small one, famous. Georgia, yeah. Monaco, wonderful. Excellent, Monaco. Now, we're going to listen to a song. Okay? And you have been to that casino? Oh, okay. When you listen to the song, I want you to answer these three questions. Are the singers rich? Do they want to be rich? How are they dreaming of getting rich? In parentheses now. You're not my students right now for 1 minute. Students have already answered the first two. They are so obvious. Why should a rich singer sing? I mean, well, we talked about money so long. Why should I pick up a rich singer singing about how nice being rich is? So obviously the answer is no, they're not. Yes, they want to be rich. So I have given them only one question. How are they dreaming of getting rich? But I have already helped them to look for the answers. Remember the warm up activities? Let's listen to the song and see if you can. Most probably, I have so many young people here. Most probably, you don't know this song. Well, uh, because I'm not that rich, I'm going to play a YouTube video, but you may only hear the sound. Please recall all the warm-up activities that we have done. I have given the students a chance to feel that they have accomplished a lot. Rather than asking them very hard questions where they cannot come up with the answers, I have provided them with the necessary help, like the visuals, so that they can answer and feel, oh, I can do it. See? And whenever I get a good, positive, um, relevant answer, I praise it. Huh? Wonderful. Great idea. Whatever. And we always try to laugh at things together, not at each other. Okay. Believe it or not, they are still showing the commercials, and it's almost impossible to skip it. Whatever. Okay. Now, young people are interested in uh, f- m- how should I say, money related issues because most of them suffer from not having enough money or getting enough good money from their parents. Okay. This is why I thought this song is timeless. It's an old song, but I believe even today, young people can find something related to. Uh, Here we go.
I work all night, I work all day to pay the
Yep.
bills.
Okay. Nice song. Now, I want you to listen to the song again. Of course, you're not going to listen to the song again. And I want you to write the missing words from the box into the blanks. Now, I know this is a boring activity, or you may think that, come on, another fill in the blanks activity. I'm sorry. But what is important is they need to see the text in front of them. Audio texts fly away. Written texts remain with them. So they should have the text, written text in front of them so that we can refer to the context. They can positively eat from the context. Okay. So they have listened to it. Now they're going to listen to it again and write the missing words. Just to save you, these are the words that I want them to write in. I work all night. Why do you think I choose work? Because I'm a teacher. Yes, I do not want to teach grammar in isolation, but I'm dying to teach grammar. So I need to teach or show that this is in present tense. I work all night. I work all day to pay the bills I have to pay. And uh, it goes like, I have a plan. I have a plan. You will remember this later when I refer to, when I ask a question related to this. If I got me, see, I wouldn't. These are the words that I have chosen. I'm not worried about whether they could write them or not. I have already given them in the box. Okay. Uh, I'd fool around and have a ball. Uh, Funny, sunny, all the things I could do if I had a little money. Hard to find, but I can't get him off my mind. I bet he wouldn't fancy me. If he happens to be free, pay attention. I'm alert. This is a mixed conditional statement. I don't want them to focus their attention on the first part. Not now, not now. It's too early. Okay. But I want them to focus their attention on the second part. Okay. So I must leave. I will have to go. I wish I could, whatever, whatever. Now, you have the written text in front of you. Okay. Now we're going to do some vocabulary activities. Why? Because when I ask you some guided discovery questions, I don't want you to deal with unknown vocabulary items because they will impede the understanding of the text. So Can you find another word in the song which means rich? Well, you don't have the text in front of you, but they do. So remember, the singer says, if I got me a wealthy man. So rich, wealthy. So one vocabulary strategy, teaching strategies using synonyms. Another one is you don't need to give definitions or synonyms when you're teaching when you teach vocabulary. You can use collocations. Uh, okay, find a word in the song which can complete the following phrases. One word for all of them. A telephone, da da da da da. An electricity, da da da da. A gas, da da. Which word can fill all these blanks? Excellent bill, a telephone bill, an electricity bill, a gas bill. See, remember the poor woman working so hard, but still having difficulty covering all the bills? Yep. Okay. Uh, okay. Another vocabulary teaching strategy. Now, if kuruş is to lira, penny is to I'm using native language because the concept itself is native. So you know kuruş and lira, hopefully. Kuruş is getting lost, I believe, right? Penny is to what? Okay, pay attention. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Very good. Very good. Pound or sterling, which is the currency of the United Kingdom. Well, maybe not United Kingdom. Do Irish people use pound as well? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. England. Let's say England. Okay. Some people wrote cent and dollar, and I said, be careful, because uh, I don't want him to make the wrong assumption that penny is to dollar, because dollar is the American currency. So I said, be careful. I didn't say wrong. No. Oh my God. What? Are you crazy? No. I said, be careful, which means you're not giving the correct answer. Huh? So rather than insulting the student or demotivating the student, you just show them that the answer is somewhere else. Okay. Um, yes, hocam, don't worry. Pound and dollar are so far away from us. We have forgotten what is what. So don't worry, hocam. Okay. Now, I feel more comfortable. If students have any other issues with vocabulary, they can ask me. I'm there. I'm their teacher. Okay. Yes, because just because I'm going to help them discover doesn't mean that I'm not going to help them. No other words. Don't ask me any other words. No, of course. If they ask any other words, I will help them. Now, grammar begins. Drum roll, please. Dum, dum, dum, dum, dum. Okay. Now, these lines are taken from the song. They are not in isolation. They belong to a context. Look at the sentences. Answer the questions. Normally, I would wait more, or I would ask them to work in pairs just to get some help, or maybe in small groups. But here, just to stick to the time limit, I will do it very quickly. Do the singers have a wealthy man in their life? Do they have money? Do they have to work? Da, da, da, da, da, da, da, da, da. Students answer, no, no, yes. See how easy? Yes, no question? Because this is the first question set. When you're doing guided discovery, the first question set should come in yes, no format. We don't want to make it hard for the students. Are they talking about their real life or their dream? See the choice. Which one? So the answer is already there. Their dream. Are they talking about now or the past? Because I am worried that when they see the past form of the verbs, they may think that they are related to the past. So I need to clarify that. Yes, they are talking about now. Very good. Excellent. Now, again, see how I started with the use, the function and meaning. Now I'm going down to the form and notion. Notion is, like space, time, that kind of thing. Uh, so I believe now that they have understood the function and meaning, now they can deal with the form. If I got me a wealthy man, is that a complete sentence? Huh? Huh? No. Okay, good. I would fool around and have a ball. Is that a complete sentence? No. Okay. And these sentences stand by themselves? Hey, I'm alone. I mean something. No. Do they need each other? Yes, they do. How do we connect these two sentences? Wallahi, in the classroom, I do not go this fast. Believe me, I give the students a chance to uh, think, debate. Even if they give the wrong answer, I will say, yeah, a very, very interesting way of doing it. You say, for example, are these about their real life or their dreams? So one student says, their real life. Be careful. What is the answer then? Their dreams. They have only two choices. If one is incorrect, the other one has to be correct, right? So, do you see what I'm doing? I'm explaining without explaining. Okay, they are explaining to themselves. Okay, so how do we connect them? By the use of, with the use of if, right? Okay. Yeah, and it says you don't answer the questions. That I pretend that you answer the questions. Okay. Now this is the jumbled sentence activity. Why do you think I use this? And pay attention in one, if is capitalized, capital I. In the other one, it's not. Which means in one, if clause should come at the beginning. In the second one, in the first one, it should come in the second part. It's not controlled practice. It is in fact a puzzle. I strongly suggest you use pair work or group work with these activities so that students can teach each other. For example, as a slow learner, I will say, if Saçmalama. Orada ifle başlayamazsın cümleye. O bak küçük yazmış onu hoca. Tamam, iyi anladık. Okay, good. Now they are teaching each other. Sorry for the Turkish thing, but that's what our students do in their small groups. Okay. This is a wonderful way of forming the structure. If they can put the necessary element where it belongs to, that means they have understood how the sentence structure works. I'm not worried. They have the full written text in front of them. Encourage them to cheat. Ask them, look at the example sentences. Get inspired. You know, there are some examples over there. Look at them. Because we don't want them to fail. Remember, we want them to succeed. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now complete these sentences for yourself. This sounds like a production activity. It's not. Okay. It's a transfer activity. They already have some statements presented by the song. They can easily pick those sentences, clauses, I should say, and put them here. I would buy a villa with a pool if I got me a wealthy man. See? Take the clause directly from the song. No problem at all. Well, of course, if it's a male student, he may want to change it into a wealthy woman. Or may not. I don't know. That all depends on whatever he wants to say. Why I put them here is to show would, could, would, and the second part is the if one. Okay. Now comes the test. What happened to my other rules? I had other rules. Well, whatever. Forget about that. Now, this is a test, but I don't have time for the test. That's why I said 2 class hours. Now, what is love for you is, in fact, a kind of those internet tests that you have. Let me show you one question. It's really fun. Do not use the chat box. If you want to answer, you can write it on a piece of paper. Well, let's very quickly do it, guys. It's very fun. It's really fun. Very fun, neyse. Really fun. Can you get yourself a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper? Just write the answers. You don't need to write anything else. You can just say A, B, C, D, whatever. 1. If the end of the world came and you could save only one kind of animal, which one would you pick? Rabbit, sheep, deer, horse. Write it down. 1, for example, A. Okay. Are you done with it? If you were an animal, which one would you be? A, dog, B, cat, C, horse, D, snake. Are you an animal? Can you be an animal? No. Okay, good. If you had the power to make one species disappear forever, which one would that be? A, lion, B, snake, C, crocodile, and D, shark. Don't think too much. The first answer that comes to your mind should be your choice. If one of the following animals would speak, which would you prefer it to be? A, sheep, B, horse, C, rabbit, D, bird. If you were on an isolated island, which one would you choose as your companion? A, human, B, pig, C, cow, D, bird. Remember, you're not going to eat it, you're going to live with it. And the last two questions. Okay. If you had the power to tame all animals, which would you prefer as a pet? A, dinosaur, B, white tiger, C, polar bear, and D, leopard. If you could be an animal for 5 minutes, which of the following would you prefer to be? A, lion, B, cat, C, horse, D, pigeon. Are you ready? You have 7 answers in front of you. Yeah, I said don't use the chat box. I said write it down because now I'm going to give you the results. The first answer represents the personality of the person you would be attracted to in real life situation. If you have chosen rabbit, you would be attracted to a person cold as ice on the outside, but warm inside. Sheep, obedient and warm. Deer, elegant and well-mannered. Horse, unbridled, free-spirited, and free. Your choice, the second question, represents the impression that you would like to give to your partner. Dog, loyal and faithful. Cat, stylish. Horse, optimistic. Snake, flexible. Everyone thinks snake represents something bad, but in this situation, something nice. Your choice represents the behavior that would cause you to break up with your partner. Lion, your partner's arrogance and authoritative behavior. Snake, your partner is too emotional and moody and you don't know how to please him or her. Crocodile, your partner's ruthlessness. Shark, your partner's insecurity. Okay, this represents the relationship that you would like to build with your partner. Sheep, you both know what the other person is thinking without saying a word. Horse, both of you should be able to talk about everything and anything with no secrets kept. Rabbit, a relationship that makes you feel warm and always in love. Bird, a long-lasting relationship. How is it going so far? Good. This choice shows whether you are capable of committing adultery. I hope not. Shame on you. Human, probably not. Pig, you can't resist desire and lust, so you're likely to commit adultery. Cow, you're tolerant and you will try very hard not to do it. Bird, you don't like to make commitments and are likely to commit adultery. Don't cheat on your spouse. Guys, shame on you. This is your idea of marriage. Dinosaur, you're quite pessimistic and you don't think happy marriages exist anymore nowadays. White tiger, you think marriage is something precious. Once you get married, you'll treasure it and your partner very much. Polar bear, you're afraid of marriage. You think it would take away your freedom. And leopard, you always wanted to get married, but in fact, you don't know what it's all about. Well, you will find out if you get married. And the last one represents your views about love at this present moment. Lion, you always thirst for love. You can do anything for it, but you won't fall for it easily. Ooh. Cat, you're quite self centered. You think of love as something you can get and trash anytime you want. Uh-uh. Horse, you don't want to be tied by a steady relationship. You just want to flirt. Pigeon, you think of love as a commitment for both parties. Well, whenever I use this test, young adults go crazy over it. They love talking about these topics. It is interesting, I know, much. And you can find uh, lots of tests like that on the internet, even personality tests. The important thing, they have already seen 7 questions with if you were an animal, which one would you be? That kind of thing in a context. Now, after 2 hours, class hours, if they fail, no big deal. Remember, this is the first encounter that they have with this form. They will have more time to practice it, to see it in different contexts, to be exposed to it in different contexts, and you will have enough time to help them expand, elaborate. Okay? You shouldn't rush. Don't push them. At the end of the day, it's their pace that counts, not yours. Okay. Okay, let's finish it. Thank you very much for listening to me. I hope I have given you an idea. This is not the way. This is only a way of teaching it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hojam. And there are a lot of thanks here. Any questions or comments? This is the time to raise it. For example, I couldn't see a formula. What happened to a formula or if formula? Aren't we ever going to write it?
Don't. Just encourage them to make statements, to read statements, to form statements. Formulas don't work, unfortunately. I wish they had, because then I wouldn't find myself in this sweaty situation where I tear my clothes apart trying to find the right guiding questions. I would come up with the formula. I would write it on the board and say, ha ha, we're done. If closed, type 2. Bye bye, everyone. But it doesn't work that way. I'm so sorry. How do I arrange these questions? Can you come up with an answer? How do you think I prepare these questions? What I do is I use the function and the meaning of the structure. I do not pay attention to the form. So if, for example, it says, this is used for unreal, imaginary, uh, present or future conditions and situations, I change it into a question. So look it up. Even in a very, very boring grammar book, you will find functions and meaning because grammar has functions and meaning. Change it into questions. Make short questions. Are these situations real? Are they imaginary? Do not go like, are they real, imaginary, whatever, whatever. Do not come up with long questions. Then you can uh, ask questions related to the form, like I did. Can they stand alone? Do they have meaning by themselves? Or do they depend on each other? See? How can I connect them? I connect them with the help of if, that kind of thing. So this is how I prepare the questions. The songs, I do not choose songs. As a teacher, everything I do, I look for materials. Wherever I go, whatever I watch, whatever I listen to, I go, oh my God, this is a wonderful song to teach if close type 2. Or, for example, if I see a menu at a restaurant, oh, this is wonderful to teach how much. So teachers are kind of abnormal in this math, in this way, They see everything in life as their teaching materials, and they collect materials like that. Now, of course, modern popular songs are more common among young people, but unfortunately, they are full of dirty language. And I don't want to use that kind of songs in the classroom because then I will end up trying to deal with those jargon, swearing words, that kind of thing, fussing and fussing. No, I don't want to deal with that. That's why I prefer old songs. They have clean language. Thank you, Ajam. Thank you very much.
Nihan Hocam has asked a
Mhm.
question. Yep.
Yes, I see that now. Of course, hopefully. Yeah, Ajam. The issue is whatever you do, remember what I say about habits. If you follow me, I have this, what is it? It's a kind of language game. I say teaching grammar is a habit. When you remove H, you still have a bit. When you remove a, you still have bit. When you remove the, you still have it. So in order to get rid of that habit, we need to be ready to change our attitude. We have been brainwashed. Now, when I ask people if they have learned English through grammar translation method, they usually say, yes, yes, I have. But then when I ask them to speak in English, they go like, hocam anlıyorum da konuşamıyorum. Typical statements. And then I say, okay, now this is reflection. If you haven't learned anything using grammar translation method, why are you using it, for God's sake? Is it like, okay, someone has done this to me. Now it's my turn. I'm going to do it myself. I have heard teachers saying, hocam, I explain present perfect tense perfectly. No one can explain present perfect tense perfectly. Okay? So, hani bir de benden duyun. Yahoo, why should I? Google has at least 1 million sites explaining present perfect tense. But why should I listen to you? Teachers first need to look at themselves in the mirror and say, no, they have done this to me. I'm not going to do the same thing to my students. I'm going to change this. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. If close, type 1. And by the way, the curriculum has changed, the materials have changed, whatever. Unfortunately, I have lost all hopes in the national education system, Nihan Hocam. So I don't know how we can save it, really. I don't want to be too pessimistic. So let's forget about that. How I would react? Yes. Okay. Find answers to your questions. Mesela, I said, find another word for rich, and they couldn't find it. What can I do? Remember, they have lyrics in front of them. So I can always say, hey, look at this first statement. If I got me, a what man? What man? Wealthy. Wealthy. Very good. Very good. So remember, I said, I'm not going to give them directions to go to their direction, but I'm going to show them the way. So I will narrow it down, tell them where to look, encourage them to look at that specific place. Okay. So you can always find a way to elicit the answer. Yes. Yes, Aysan Hocam, that's true. Again, remember, if they fail to answer my question, what did I do? I said, be careful. Be careful. Look at the sentence. I Could. Ah, I could. Okay. Very good. Not I can. I could. Yeah. Excellent. Pretend that they have found it. Let them enjoy the victory. We have discouraged our students for so long, saying, English is very hard. English is so hard. You cannot learn. Oh my God, you need to listen to me carefully. You need to, oh my God. Why are we scaring them so much? Why? Just, help them accomplish something and then let them enjoy the victory. Excellent. Great work. You did a great job. I'm so proud of you guys. Yes. I can't see any other questions. Defno Hocam, can you?
There are comments. No, that was the last question that you answered, I think.
Shul Hocam, I love that if I were a rich man. Dabba dabba dabba dabba dum. I love it. I know. But I think this one applies to young adults more than that song because that song is more like for adults. Don't forget that with age, lots change, right? Okay, then, if there are no other questions, I guess. Are we saying bye bye? Goodbye?
Yeah. Let's slowly then close the evening. Thank you very much, Aydan Hocam. It was yet another enlightening session. We tend to fall into our own ways, and that happens sometimes, happens to, to go back to the formula way. And now, yet again, we remember that, that's not the way to teach, but this is, embedding it into context is the thing. So, well, while we were talking there, I see some questions coming up.
I
Would you
have
like?
seen Aysan Hocam. Aysan Hocam, teaching a foreign language is a very hard job. I think we shouldn't teach another language. We are already teaching English. If we start teaching meta language, everything gets more complex and confusing. Why do they need the name? If they're not going to be language teachers, do they need to name the form? This is simple past tense. Oh, no, no. This is passive voice, indirect speech, reported speech. These are for professionals. These are for us. Okay. Very much like going to a doctor. The doctor usually comes up with the diagnosis in Latin. And then because we don't understand, they go like soğuk algınlığı yani. Kısaca halk arasında soğuk algınlığı diyoruz biz buna. Yeah. Right? So let's stick to what they understand. That jargon is for us, not for them. You may want to warn them about tense forms. Never use numbers. Always say past tense. I'm sorry, tense diyorum. Past form. Past participle form. Pay attention. Past form, past participle form. Never say verb 2, verb 3. Never. Çünkü they don't exist. Okay? No one would understand what you're talking about. So if you go, for example, if you have this burning desire to come up with a rule. You can say, okay, which verb form do we use? In if close? Past form. Great, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Past form for forbidden number 2. For forbidden number 3, you can use past participle because that's their function. Okay. Okay. Does this method apply to all? Uh, no, no, of course not. That's why I said this is for young adults. For young learners, grammar is definitely a no. No grammar at all. They're gonna sing. They're gonna play. They're gonna tell stories, act out stories, dramatize stories. They're gonna have fun. Don't poison them with your crazy ideas. Okay, let them enjoy life. When they grow up, they will suffer from grammar anyway. So, when I say young learners, I'm talking about the age group up to 12, 13. After that, you can destroy their life. Okay. Well, thank you very much for being with me, coming to this session, encouraging me, giving wonderful remarks here. Defne Hocam, as usual, thank you for moderating this session in the
I
best way
enjoyed it very much.
possible. Thank you.
Thank
Uh,
everyone.
so I guess we are saying goodbye. Okay, we are gonna
Thank you, Aydan Hocam.
thank you, Azra Hocam. We're gonna finish this year's Zoom sessions next week. And I hope I'll see you all there and we will have a nice summer holiday. And you never know, we may get back together in September. We'll see. Take very good care of yourselves. Hope to see you next week. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye. Good night.
Bye bye.